Namaskar. Good evening, dear devotees and friends. Let us begin the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, reading and understanding the Panchama Veda with this stotra. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kabibhiriritam kalmashafalam Sravana Mangalam Srimadatam Bhubi Grinanti E Bhurida Janaha. The questions like, is God has a form? Is God formless? Is God a person? Is God transcendent? Are always asked and discussed mainly in Sanatana Dharma, that is, in Hinduism. Why? Because both the ideas, the God is immanent and God is also transcendent, are accepted by the Sanatana Dharma. The God is transcendent, beyond anything. Again, this world is created by God, and in this creation there are two types of things that there. One is inert, another is the living. How it is possible? Then it says the God entered into it. God is the consciousness, and the God who created these inert things, like this body, entered into this body and it becomes living. So transient, intransient, both are there. Sentient, insentient, both are there. So that's why in Hinduism, in Sanatana Dharma, again and again this question comes. And we are, to some extent, always think what I should follow. The God with form, God without form. But some other philosophy, some other religion, they don't have this problem. The one idea they go. But Hinduism, it is inclusive. It takes everything together. And that's why they say that God is immanent and God is also transcendent. In our last class, that was on 9th September, we have read Vijaya Krishna Goswami asking the question to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. What remains if one renounces both dharma and adharma? This is a very, very important question. We know that dharma means righteousness. If we are not following the dharma, then naturally the adharma, unrighteousness, will fill the whole society. And what will happen? So all our scriptures, all our gurus, all our avatars, constantly they are telling, you must follow the path of dharma, the righteousness. Again and again is telling. Here it says that you have to renounce the dharma and adharma, the path of righteousness, and at the same time path of unrighteousness. What is righteousness? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna himself said. What is righteousness means? The good thoughts, good deeds. And what is unrighteousness? Bad thoughts, bad deeds. He himself said that. But is God, just by doing or not doing the righteous thing, we can realize God? It says that you have to purify the mind. What is the purification of the mind? So you have to withdraw the mind from the God's creation, and then you have to take the mind towards God. That's called purification. Purification doesn't mean anything else but withdrawing the senses from the sense objects of these worldly things. And where we'll keep that? We have to send it towards God. And that is called purification. If we do that, we realize God. That is all the time the assurances are coming in our the scripture. If it is so, by doing something we can achieve God? No. By reading the Vedas we can realize God? No. So this is the problem. Here it says, by purifying your mind, you reach in a state where you reveal that you are that. And that is called the God realization. God is in everything. God is transcendent, God is immanent, God is everything, God with form, God without form. That is a unique experience. And I am that. Ultimately it comes to that. Friends, it says in our scripture, Veda or Veda Bhavati. Veda means knowledge. And it has no value, because when you realize that, and there is no value of it. Abheda bhavati. So then why should we read Veda? Because by that way you are reaching to up to that. And then only, if you are not doing anything, you are accumulating layers after layers of ignorance on you, and there is no chance. It will be too late. So we are practicing the truthfulness, kindness, and then charity, and all sorts of good things. And slowly we are understanding that mind is becoming broader and broader. And we can accept everything. And slowly time will come when there will be no friend and foe. All are mind, and that is God realization. And you will feel that there is nothing but me in every being. You can feel the suffering of those people. That is God realization. The misconception that the God will appear before us, it is not a misconception. God appears before us. If we want, the God, please come and reveal yourself to me in this particular form, the God comes. So that is the reason Sri Ramakrishna, whenever there is an opportunity, particularly people who are educated and who have studied the scripture, who will understand, it needs the adhikari, it needs the proper student. And that is the reason when there are some people who are coming to Sri Ramakrishna, he said, you need not to do anything, just take the name of God. Should not have any doubt, take the name of God. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. Just take the name of God. But there are some people to whom Sri Ramakrishna is giving that you should do this and you should do this way. So slowly they are thinking. So we were reading over here. Vijay Krishna Goswami, he asked, what remains if one renounces both dharma and adharma? There is no activity. What I am going to do then? My mind is constantly dragged by my senses towards the sense objects of the world, and I am fighting. I am not allowing them to go. So this action is going, dharma and adharma, constantly. This Durga Puja is coming. Tomorrow will be in America, it will be the Mahalaya. Today in India, the Mahalaya. It is the beginning of the Durga Puja. And this time, after 1 month almost, the Durga Puja. So what is this Durga Puja story of a great fight? Fight between Asura and the Sura. What is the Sura? Those who are enlightened. What are Asura? Unenlightened. So this is the ignorant people. What is the ignorance? This body is permanent, and whatever the great way I should try to nourish this body and to give the enjoyment to this body. We think in that way. That is called Asura. They cannot think of anything else. So they go on drinking, eating, and making the merry, and that way they think that they are enjoying a great. So that's called asura. And what is the sura? They know these are all temporary, so naturally their thoughts will be, actions will be completely different. So these fights goes on. The dharma and adharma. Those who are practicing the dharma, the path of righteousness, path of truthfulness, path of helping others, feeling for others, that is called the dharma. Exactly opposite, adharma. Now I am giving up both. That is very important, because in that the song that it says, Ram Prasad, Kali Brahma Jene Marma Dharma Dharma Tap Tag Karechi. Dharma and adharma. I don't have any action. I am not restraining the senses. I am not trying to be to pure, nothing. I am just. Why? I know everything is nothing but God. That is the supreme state. And after that, I need not to do it. I don't need to do anything. When he sing the song that I give up good and bad, because he knows both are nothing but God. The question is, what remains then? A beautiful answer that Sri Ramakrishna gave. The last in our class we read, pure love of God. Why love? Because there is nothing but God. And what is this love? Understanding and feeling that it is me. So that is the pure love. The love that I am that. The mother loves her own child. Why? Because she is that child. So that feeling, the child is also constantly loving the mother. Without the mother, the child is baby, all thinking that where the mother is tremendous love, mother and the child. Slowly the child growing up and separating from the mother. Why? Attraction for the world comes, and different type of thoughts start crossing his mind, and his ego prompts him so many things. So the difference comes. We also belong to God. God has created us, and we are so close to God. There is nothing but God and me, and I am that. I came from that God, but we are separating myself from the God. Why? Ego. Then again I start doing something good to go back to God. So that is why love remains. L-O-V-E. What is God? Love. The love knows no boundary, no barter. So that type of love Sri Ramakrishna is telling. Then he is telling that Brahma devotee is asking, is God different from his Shakti? The God and his Shakti. Again and again this thing comes. The Hindus, the Sanatana, the Panthis, they always explain that God has created this universe. Friends, again and again I say that three questions you must have to answer if you are going to establish a philosophy. Who is the creator? What is this creation? What is the relation between the creator and the creation? These three questions. Now here the Hindus, they say God has created. God is the creator, and God has created this universe, and relation is eternal. But how he created? Out of his own. Then again explain it. How God can give everything to make this world, and then again remain completely separate and in total. How it is possible? Then comes answer is Shakti. His power is like that, and he separates himself from the power as if. the power that's Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. That's why Sri Ramakrishna is so unique. So many difficult philosophical questions he explained so simple way. But we love to understand things very critically and very complicated way. No, Sri Ramakrishna is very simple. He says fire and its burning capacity. Can you separate it? The fire is burning capacity, and burning capacity is known as fire. You cannot separate it. Similarly, the God and his Shakti, the power, the primal energy. And what is this Durga? That Shakti. So again, sometime we may discuss that. So is God different from Shakti's master? After attaining perfect knowledge, one realizes that they are not different. Right this moment we won't be able to. After attaining perfect knowledge, then only it is possible. Swami Vivekananda gave a wonderful definition of the religion. Religion is the manifestation of the perfectness that is already in man, already in persons. What is that perfectness? What is the perfectness? There is no doubt. There is no why. There is no question. So that is perfect. So this perfectness that is already there. Why? Because we are gods. And we have been created by God, and out of God's own self, obviously we are God. Only problem that we have forgotten that. So perfect knowledge, attaining that perfect knowledge. After attaining perfect knowledge, one realizes that they are not different. What not different? God and his power. Both are same. What is the power? This creation. What is God? The creator. Now, it's very simple. God and God's creation are the same. We have started studying that the one scripture that will be every Sunday will the Yoga Vasishta. The Yoga Vasishta will be telling the same thing to Sri Ramachandra. Sri Ramachandra was eager to give up the world and go as a monk. But his guru, family guru, Yoga Vasishta, is telling, whom you are going to give up? This world also belongs to the same God. The world is nothing but the God. So obviously this is Sanatana Dharma. Both are same. Where is the difference? Ignorance. Ignorance is the difference. I am thinking, and that is the problem, and that's why every individual has to solve it. In the community way, we can go and pray. Some of the religions, they always community prayer. They give the importance on community prayer. And when you go for the community prayer, there's some type of psychology that works. If I don't go, then people may look at me and say, oh, he is not religious person, he is not coming to this place. So we should all go, we should stand, and then we should show. There are a lot of. But when you are all alone, nobody is watching you, and nobody is going to say anything to you if you are not following the religious thing. But still you are praying, you are crying to God, remove this ignorance and please reveal thyself, and that is the most important. Individual prayer. And so feeling the closeness of God, and the more we pray, more we cry for God, more our mind becomes completely free from attachment. And attachment to these worldly things, when the attachment goes, then remain only God. And how you will know that you have realized God? You are always happy, joyful, fearless, because you know I am permanent, I am eternal, I'm not going to change any time. So this is what the God says, After attaining perfect knowledge, one realizes that they are not different. They are same like the gem and the brilliance. And again, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, Brahman is beyond the injunctions of the Vedas and cannot be described. There neither I nor you exist. We say Bhagavan, Ishwar, or in English, God. Again, the Hindus, they say Brahman. What is this Brahman? There is no form. There is no I or you. They're completely one. So, whom you are praying? Because you are your God. You are the God. Are you praying to yourself? On whom you are meditating? You are that. So, you are trying to meditate on yourself? So, this is the way you have to understand. Brahman is transcendental, consciousness, all-pervading, and then the God, the same consciousness, by his own will, has taken a form. Why? It becomes easy for us to understand. That is the reason. Brahmana rupakalpana, bhaktanam anukampartham. To help the devotees, rupakalpana. But always, as I started today's class with this question, is God having form? Is God having no form? Is God transcendent? Is God immanent? These constant, because our philosophy, it accepts both. Sri Ramakrishna is standing as a bridge between these two. Hundreds of years we debated on that. All our great minds, they are all debating and making a separate path, each and having separate path. The Shankaracharya said, no, it cannot be. There cannot be any form. And then another is coming and telling, no, God is with form. Without that, there cannot be God. So they are all both, they are going in a different way, as if. Sri Ramakrishna came and he told, why? Both are same. Why you are fighting? So that is why Sri Ramakrishna is known as Samannaya Devata. He is combining everything. How? Through knowledge. And what is this knowledge? Wonderfully he is explaining, which for the thousands of years no one could think of. He simply said, have you not seen the water which is formless takes the form when it is cool breeze making that the form and become ice. The ice blocks. Same water. And what is that cool breeze? Devotion. Oh God, I like to see you in this form. Please come in the form of a Durga. Please come in the form of Krishna. Please come in the form of these and that. Hundreds and thousands. Just you think and God will appear before you in that. And God is happy that you are withdrawing the mind from His creation and concentrating on Him in whatever form, whatever name, whatever way. Just withdraw your mind, withdraw all the senses. That's all. So that is the reason here Sri Ramakrishna is telling, why? Brahman also the same thing. God is also the same thing. Don't waste your time just by on debating. Work, work, work. What is that work? Try to understand. And to understand, you have to read scripture, you have to go to the guru, you have to get the initiation, you have to meditate, you have to take the name of God as a japa, and all this work, spiritual work, you have to practice day in and day out, and so long. And then only slowly, slowly, your mind will be withdrawn. A little bit of appreciation, little bit of joy, that makes us mad. So that is the reason one should understand everything is temporary. So this, again they say, as long as a man is conscious of I and you. And as long as he feels that it is he who prays or meditates, so long will he feel that God is listening to his prayer and that God is a person. God is a person. You must have to accept that. Sometimes some people, they will be listening to the Vedanta talk and immediately they think that they should follow that path because they are engineer, they are intelligent people. It has nothing to do with your certificate, university certificate. It depends on your understanding and then your level of understanding. And from there you have to start your journey towards the ultimate goal. It's not so easy. You are not talking with these people, you are not liking that man, so that means so many differences still remaining in your mind, and you are thinking that you are capable to go towards the oneness, the Brahman. It is not so easy. So one must be careful. It is not, everybody cannot become Raman Maharshi. So you have to prepare yourself. A child just going to a nursery school, if he dreams that I am going to an university, and it's good that he should think that one day I will go to the university. But today, and if he claims, ma'am, I am going to the university, I don't like to go to the small school, what will happen? He will lose both. Similarly, we have to understand our position, and Sri Ramakrishna is the unique teacher. He is the great master, and he is telling this: as long as I, you is there, as long as one is feeling that God is listening to the prayer, God is a person. Then he must say, O God, thou art the master and I am thy servant. He must say. Sri Bhagavan, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, then he must say, O God, thou art the master and I am thy servant. So that is my position, that is my the condition in the spiritual path. So let me begin from here. And slowly, slowly we will proceed. Thou art the whole, I am the part of thee. Thou art the mother, and I am thy child. Deho buddhva dasoham. Atma buddhva tadamsaka. So like this, our great Mahabhi Hanumanji is telling. Jiva buddhva tadamsaka. Deho buddhva dasoham. I am your servant. Jiva buddhva, that means I am separate identity and you are, so that tad angshaka, I am your part. Atma buddhva tamevaham. You and me are the same. There is no you, there is no me, we are the same. That is Atma Buddhva. So three conditions are there, stages are there. So we have to understand, and carefully you have to understand, not out of emotion, in a practical way, what is my situation, where I am standing. Deho Buddhva, constantly thinking about the food, clothing, comfort, name, fame, and if any one line criticism, I go mad. And if I think, oh, I am the Atman, that will be a great hypocrisy and no progress of spirituality. So that is the reason we have to start Deho Buddha Dasoham. I am your servant, I am humble, I am crying, I am praying. So that is the way, slowly, slowly I will purify, and then one day a time will come, I will feel Jiva Buddha. I am that Jiva, the individual self, and that is also the reflection of the great self, the great consciousness, the great Brahman, that Chaitanya, that is there, Chaitana is within me. Then I will feel I am not this body. I am not this mind. I am just living within this body and mind, but I don't belong to this. I am the eternal Atman. So this is the way it goes. And that finally, by the grace of the same God, time will come, Atma Buddhva. I am that. So then I will understand, yes, wherever I see, whatever I see is nothing but the consciousness. The prayer Sri Ramakrishna is teaching. At that time there exists a feeling of difference. I am one and thou art another. At the time of the prayer, it is God Himself who makes us feel this difference. So this is an important statement. God Himself makes us feel that. So that is the way, that is our standing, and we should feel in that, and slowly we should make the progress. And on account of this difference, one sees man, woman, light, darkness, and so on, differences. As long as one is aware of this difference, one must accept Shakti. Again, coming back, what is Shakti? The creation of God, manifestation of God in different names and forms, this phenomena. So that is the Shakti. How we understand? By seeing the capacity. What is that capacity we feel? A thing which is not there, this power makes me feel that it is there. The Vedantin, they always, the classical, the way they'll explain, that the rope and the snake. So that is the way I feel. And then I feel, oh, I am so full that why I took that rope as a snake. But that was the power, that is the Shakti who compelled me to think. I never wanted to see the snake on that. I wanted to cross that particular path to enter into my house, and it was lying over there. And I saw with my own eyes, it is snake. And naturally, how can I go to that? I had to call the neighbors. I wanted their help. Then the people came, light came. Then I realized, no, it is not. It was a mistake. Sorry, I disturbed you. So this is the way, if you understand, to who compelled me to see the snake on the rope? Shakti, the God's power, and that is also known as Maya, the primal energy. And I know that I don't have any capacity. I am boasting that I am ruling. I am the tremendous capacity that I have, and I can do this, I can do that. Then suddenly in the next morning when I try to get up, I can't. Then the attendant or the people in the house, they come and see what happened. Paralytic attack. I can't get up. And that is the condition. God forbid. No one should have that. But it can happen to anyone, anytime, any day. Still we boast. And that is called Maya. That is the ego. And why? Where from it is coming? God's power. And God is playing with me. Then whom to go? To go out of Maya is the only way, only path, only to reach the goal. I have to cross that. But who can help me to cross that? God. That is very peculiar. God is giving that power, binding me and forcing me to play like this, and to go beyond that, it is only God can help. So this is the way we have to understand. There is no other way but God. So we have to go to God and say, whatever the karma phala and all that is also there, I am not going to enter into that. Whatever I have done, God, enough. I want to go to you. And sincerely, if I pray to God, then the God will show me that there is no difference between God and me. Or if I want to stay with God, live with God, in association with God, like to enjoy the divine play of God, la leela, that is also possible. God will do that. So that is the Shakti. As long as one is aware of this difference, one must accept Shakti, the personal God. It is God who has put I consciousness in us. You may reason 1,000 times, still this I does not disappear. As long as I consciousness exists, God reveals himself to us as a person. So this is the way we have to understand. Therefore, as long as a man is conscious of I and of differentiation, he cannot speak of the attributeless Brahman and must accept Brahman with attributes. This is the teaching of Sri Ramakrishna. Just by ego that I am intelligent and I should feel like this, you can try. But those who are really sincere, they should try to understand why Sri Ramakrishna again and again tells. Some people argue, and this is for a particular group of people. This is for all. Those who are, it's not particular the group that Sri Ramakrishna was addressing. Those who are thinking I, and naturally they are thinking you. So the difference is there. The moment you think of one, the conception of two is there. So this is the way we have to understand. Still now, I am thinking me and mine. This is me, and that is he, that is she. This is the difference. And when it is there, so my position is to start with Dvaita. And Dvaita means duality. Then I have to pray to God. Because right this moment, that Brahman with attribute, that is God. In different ways they say, Brahman with attribute. There is a God only. Ishvara, Bhagavan, same, a different terminology. But this God, this Ishvara, this Bhagavan, with attribute means the qualities. Attribute means qualities. What are the qualities? Sattva-guna, Rajoguna and Tamaguna. These are the three qualities. And these three qualities constantly changing the form, mixing the Sattva, Raja and Tama in different quantity is there mixing, and then that type of waves are coming within my mind. Now at this moment my concentration should be to develop Sattva-guna. And how we will know what are those Sattva-gunas? Everything has been said by the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he said in the Bhagavad Gita, list is there. In the Bhagavata also, list is there. These are the Sattva-gunas. You must practice these. These are the qualities. And this type of effect will come. Swatik way of joy, Rajasic way of joy, Tamasic way of joy, Sattvic way of working, Rajasic way of working. Everything is there in the Bhagavad Gita. So from there, if we take the source and try to develop the Sattva guna within ourselves, then we can reduce the Tamaguna. Gunas are there, bound by that. Anger is coming, and also many other things that goes to the Tamaguna quality. Okay, it is there, but now the anger should be turned towards God. God, why I am becoming angry? Because you are not helping me. You are not taking care of me. So that anger I am turning towards God. And when I am angry with God, I am fighting with God, I am thinking about God. The moment I am thinking about God, God's creation is, I am leaving at the back. So when I am thinking of God, the creation goes away from my mind becomes purified. And that is exactly what the Shankaracharya is telling in the Vivek Chudamani also. You have to purify the mind. That this purification comes, Sattva-guna. So Rajaguna will also go, Sattva-guna. I have done this, I have done this. Then afterwards, oh, this type of thing, so many people do. Why am I unnecessarily boasting? And suppose that person was not there with me, could I do that? And that type of help came. So I did because so many people, so many help, so many things came to me. Who brought it? Oh, God must be. I am discriminating, analyzing my work and becoming humble, humble and humble. And when I am analyzing, becoming humble, Sattva Guna is rising. I am entering into the realm of the Sattva Guna. And the moment I entered into Sattva Guna, and I wonder looking at me, I was such a person. I used to feel jealous. I used to feel angry. Now I don't feel that. Rather I feel compassion. I pray for those who are criticizing me, trying to harm me. I pray for them. Sattva Guna is rising. And this is all science. You need not to imagine. The effect is there. When the effect is there, you can understand that whether you are tamasika, rajasika, sattvika. So as long as these qualities are playing within me, so long I have to take God also with those three qualities, that is Ishvara. And then that is a great solace. I should go and cry before God. Hold on to God. Please help me, please help me. And that way the time will come. Then see today is the Mahalaya in India, tomorrow in US. What happens? The Tarpana. They do the Tarpana. What is this Tarpana? Again, to generate the Sattva Guna within us. We remember all our ancestors and we don't forget them. There's so much of contribution for my living, for my growing up. All my relatives they have done, my parents have done, now they have passed away. So the Hindu society teach the Hindu people, you should not forget. You should be grateful to them. The gratefulness. And the more you are grateful, the more you are increasing your Sattva Guna. And this gratefulness takes us so much. Then it says, in the Rama Tarpan it says, Om Abrahma Bhuvanan Loka Devarshi Pitri Manavaha Tripantu Pitaras Sarve Matri Mata Mahodaya. So I am offering the water to those. Some people may laugh, oh, after the death, where are all those? Why you are unnecessarily offering the water? No, it is not for them, it is for me. And I am actually thinking of my ancestors, praying for them. And I am telling that when you were in life, I couldn't recognize, I couldn't show my respect to you in that form. I was ignorant. Please forgive me. And they become very happy. We Hindus, they believe that when we die, it is not all end. Only the body that we leave, or our soul is still there. As long as the soul is not becoming united with the source, that is the God or the Brahman, it will be there. And obviously when they are there, they see that their descendants praying to them, offering the water, and they become very happy. And their happiness comes as a blessings to those people, those who are doing it. It's so subtle. And these blessings helps us in different way. Just because we have read a book of science and that is nothing, I don't believe. And how to spend the time? I go to club. But that is the way we go towards the tamaguna. It is not his fault. The nature pulling him down to tamaguna. But we have to fight back. No. Today, I must get up early morning. I must bathe. And the water, maybe in the cities where I will find the river. And in America, it is very difficult to go to river. Immediately police will come. Hey, what you are doing there? So, what we can do, we can take water in a container and put our finger into that and then chant Gange cha Jamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalastim Sannidham Kuru Kurukshetra Gaya Ganga Prabhasa Puskarini cha Tirthanatani. Come over here. All the holy places, all the holy river, all the holy thought, please come over here. That thought makes that water purified. And with that water only people, they worship. Now that water I am giving, and that becomes a purified water. And I take the water in two palms and then slowly offering and giving to, thinking all my ancestors. By that act I am improving myself and the prayer, my remembrance, my gratefulness, and slowly improving my sattic quality. Abrahma bhuvana loka, Abrahma bhuvana. All the bhuvanas, they say there is 14, the spheres are there, 14. Brahma, the firstborn, the first manifestation, and all the creation, the 14, the places, Devarshi, and those who are very holy souls, Pitri, and my ancestors, Manava, all the beings who have passed away, all people who have passed away, because of you, I am surviving. And some people, they are in the business, they are bringing the things, and I am simply going to a shop and purchasing. How much help they did? Where from they purchased and they brought it, leveled it, gave. Just easy. I go pick up, I bring, boil and eat. Shall I not be grateful to those people who did all these things? That is called gratefulness. The more we think in this way, you see, almost all people are helping me. Whole nature is helping me. I should be. That's Abrahma bhuvana loka Devarshi Pitri Manavaha Tippantu. Let you be happy. We are not offering very costly thing, only that water. And then that water with my mind, with great respect, devotion, Pitara Sarve Matri Mata Mahodaya, from the clan of my father and from the side of my mother, all be happy with me. Atita Kula Kotinam. And then he says, Atita Kula Kotinam. And the millions and time that I was taking birth in the past, I have forgotten that. But still, please help me so that I can offer this to you. Sapta Deepa Nivasinam. Sapta Deepa Nivasi means the whole world. You know, in India, the traditional people, they think that this whole world is divided into 7 islands. The 7, that is called the Sapta Deepa Nivasinam. Maya dattena toena trippantu bhuvanatrayam. Toya means the water. Whatever water I am pouring, you be happy with that. Bhuvanatrayam. Swarga, Martha and Patala. These are the Bhuvana. So this is again and again they are. Not only that, all those who are my friends, whom I know, and those whom I don't know, you also be happy, and I am offering, I am remembering. This is the way I am becoming the grateful to each and every one. And this is the Sanatana Dharma. Some people, they boast about the Sanatana Dharma and these, that, not understanding what is Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma means there is no narrowness. All embracing, each and every one are my part and parcel. That is Sanatana Dharma. If you really read, understand, listen, and then think about the great philosophy, that's why Swami Vivekananda said, the India is a Punya Bhumi, the holy place. And we become emotional. Vivekananda said it is a holy place. Holy place? You are cheating people and treating people badly. How can this be a holy place? Holy place means these wonderful thoughts. When all of us are thinking, I am so blessed that I am born in this land, who could really manifest the wonderful philosophy, ideology, and then let me imbibe this, let me reduce my ego, let me go towards the swatik condition. That is called the help. Friends, Sri Ramakrishna is telling the answer, the question that he is asking, Vijay Krishna again, how, sir, can one, this is very important, I request your attention, how, sir, can one have the vision of the primal energy and attain Brahma Jnana, the two. Primal energy means the Dvaita, and at the same time Brahma Jnana, Ishta Darshana, Atma Darshana. In Sanskrit, if you say, pray to God both. Oh God, you are my Ishta, chosen idol. I love you. I always take refuge in you. I want to see you. Ishta Darshana. At the same time, Brahma Darshana, Brahma Jnana, Atma Darshana. Who am I? I am sure that this is, I am not the body or the mind or anything. So that consciousness, please reveal that consciousness to me. Let me at least have that. So he is asking this question. The knowledge of the attributeless Brahman, is it possible? How can one have the vision of the primal energy, that means the Shakti, the God, and attain the Brahma Jnana, the knowledge of the attributeless Brahman? Vijay Krishna Goswami is one of the members of the Brahmo Samaj. So obviously the Brahman, they used to always talk about that. So he is thinking, okay, the Sri Ramakrishna Dev is telling the truth, and I also feel that I am different from God. So I have to go through God, but at the same time the Brahma Jnana, I need that. So he is asking this. Listen to the Master's reply, and then we will conclude today. The great Master Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is replying, pray to him, pray to God with a yearning heart and weep. That will purify your heart. See, purification. Pray to God and cry. That will purify your mind. What is the purification? Oh God, I want you, not your creation. And that is called purification, pavitrata. You see the reflection of the sun in clear water. In the mirror of his eye consciousness, the devotee sees the form of the primal energy and Brahman with attributes. But the mirror must be wiped clean. One does not see the right reflection if there is any dirt on the mirror. But if you seek Brahma Jnana, the knowledge of the attributeless Brahman, then proceed to the real sun, through its reflection. Proceed to the real sun through its reflection. Pray to Brahman with attributes, that means the God, who listens to your prayers, and he himself will give you full knowledge of Brahman. That is the Sri Ramakrishna's word, and very clear. And those who are constantly thinking that we are Dvaitavadi, every day morning we are praying to God, but I want Brahma Jnana. By this way we get the Brahma Jnana. So this is very clear, and he is telling, so both you are getting Ishta Darshana and Atma Darshana, both through prayer. And with the attributeless Brahman, verily Brahman without attributes, Brahman is verily Shakti. One realizes this non-duality after the attainment of perfect knowledge. Again, perfect knowledge. What is that perfect knowledge? Brahma Shatya. That is the perfect knowledge. Everything is, whatever I see is nothing but the Brahman. This Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, who is to worship Goddess Kali, who is to worship Sri Ramachandra, who is to worship Krishna, and through and through he was a Dvaitin, but at the same time this Ramakrishna also said, if you can see God after closing your eyes, can't you see God by opening your eyes? Bohurupe sammukhe tomar, chhadi kotha khujiche ishar, Swami Vivekananda wrote in one of his poems. The God is there everywhere, and leaving those gods who are before you, you are searching for God. What a foolishness. So Sri Ramakrishna, he is concluding, there is another path. You, the members of the Brahma Samaj, are not Jnanis. You are Bhaktas. The Jnani believes that Brahman alone is real and the world illusory as a dream. To him, I and you are illusory as a dream. So he is clarification is there about the Brahma Samaj, clear. They were thinking that we are not worshipping the images, so we are Jnanis. No, you are devotees, and nothing wrong in it. Worship that, concentrate on that, and pray to that, and we get both Atma Darshana, Ishta Darshana. Thank you, friends. Today, up to this. Is the question?
Lots of questions. First question is from Kamal Chaudhary. Pranam, I have a question about me in everything realization. Does it ultimately feel like the Vishwaroop Darshan of Sri Krishna, as in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 11, with many heads, legs, mouth?
So, me in everything. What is this me? So, Kamal Babu, when the Vishwarupa Darshana that the Krishna he was showing, it was the God all-pervading, but still it is Dvaita. It's not Advaita. So when you see you in everything, it doesn't mean that your identity that I am Kamal and this is my feature and I am in everything. Not like that. Consciousness. That consciousness, filling of the consciousness, that every beings are conscious. And that is called Brahma Jnana. That is called the knowledge of the One. But when you see the God, and like that 11th chapter Bhagavad Gita, that everything belongs to God and God has become everything, that is a different, the Dvaita, but at the same time that God is one and all belongs to God, that knowledge comes.
The next question is from Srima Vishwas. Srimati is asking, if we all come from God, then why the nature is different, someone godly, someone like devil?
So it's a good question. All coming from God. But at the same time, because of our karma phala, that's a big subject, karma phala. So because of the karma phala, so we become more tamasic, so like devilish, and then raja, more raja, and little sattva, little tama, the human, and more sattva with little tama and raja is the divine. So this sattva, raja, tama, these three qualities, and I should really request you, if you go through the pages of the Bhagavad Gita, there it is very clearly mentioned, particularly 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, what are the sattva guna, raja guna and tama guna. And as I was telling today's in the class, our goal should be to improve the sattva guna within us. The list is there in the Bhagavad Gita. Note it down and every day try to imbibe those qualities. And slowly by practice, the sattva guna will rise. And when the sattva guna comes, as they always say, the dawn is only a time that the God realization is sure to have.
The next question is from Tuhin Kana. Is evil created by God or it has separate existence?
No. So this is Tuhin, very good question. That Sanatana Panthis, the Hindu Dharma, they always believe that everything is God. The moment we say there is a separate existence like the devil, that means there are two existences, and God cannot be infinite. So only one. So obviously the evil has also come from God. So this question has been dealt by the Sri Ramakrishna in this gospel. And when one asks, if the evil is there in God, he is also affected by that. The God is also bad then? Then Sri Ramakrishna said no, and gave an example. The snake is having the poison, but the poison never does any harm to the snake. The God is having that, but God is not affected by good or bad. This point you have to understand. Thank you.
The next question is from Bradley Gooding. Mr. Bradley is asking, when one thinks only of Para-Brahman, is it the same as moving beyond the three gunas?
Yes. The moment we say para, when you use the word para, means above. Beyond that nothing is there. It is the highest. And Brahman, the Brahman means the consciousness. That is the highest consciousness without any attributes. And the Hindu believe that is the level where there is no activity of the gunas. They are all in equilibrium condition. Sattva, Raja and Tama, they are all in equilibrium condition, no movement in that, and that is called Parabrahma. The moment the movement starts, that same Parabrahma reflected as the Brahman with attributes, and that we call the God.
The next question is from Kamal Chaudhary again. Is the soul same as the subtle body of Vedanta that transmigrates from one life to other?
And subtle body and the soul is a little different. Though the consciousness that is reflecting on the intellect of a person, that is called the soul. And that is the reflected thing, not original. But that gives a sense that I, associated with many other subtle things, is called subtle body. The 17 avayava, 17 the form, the subtle body. This subtle body, mainly the mind, which is also collecting all the impressions, and that keeps in the antakarana, and that mind, that subtle body roams, it goes, because the karma phala that is in the mind And mind is having four, you can say the four part, mana, buddhi, chitta and ahamkara. And this chitta is the storehouse, and there all the senses are there, and this four goes along with the subtle bodies, and it is that subtle body, sukshma sharira. Any other question? No, thank you. Okay, then let us conclude with this stotra. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namama. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.